our guys were, I mean, we have so much respect for how Nebraska plays, and we knew they were getting better. And sit up here and say it, and you never look at the record. You don't look at, who they played. You look at, okay, what do you see on film? And there's no question they were playing well. They were playing well before Siobhan got hurt, and they're doing the same thing. And we knew we were going to have to. We knew we'd be in a battle. And we did not have a great first half. We had a solid first half. We had a very solid ending, but they had something to do with that too. And we kept telling our guys the last couple of days and throughout the huddles that they weren't going to go away. And they don't, because Tim does an excellent job, and that team has got very good older players and obviously some really good young ones. And when you can respond the way that they do without having one of their two best players in that lineup, that's a sign of a really, really good program. One that's going to continue to rise. And what they've done with their individual improvement is really something. And for us to play the way we did in the second half says a lot about the way our guys, they were in a full fight. I mean, they knew we had to make adjustments. I give Rob Judson tremendous credit for going to the, telling it was time to go to the all switching. And I think we had 6 straight possessions where they didn't score in that. That was absolutely paramount to the game. And they're really fast, and so what they do is they create a lot of movement, and they can play a lot of different ways. So you've got to be really locked in. First half, a couple of times we made some mistakes. Some mistakes where we wanted to switch, and a couple communication mistakes. They made us pay. But we came out and did an excellent job in the second half. We went through the paint, which is exactly what we wanted to do. But the most important thing about the night, to me, is the way the players drove the train. I mean, they absolutely did. They've had, we had a short turnaround, right? We get home later on Sunday, and we can say, well, they're college kids. Well, they're in the midst of battles right now, and everybody goes through the same thing. And for them to respond the way that they did in a short period of time, it says a lot. We didn't over-practice, but we made sure we really prepared, and we had to learn from our own film. But our guys played with tremendous heart, passion, energy, all those adjectives that describe a team that's really connected and together. It's exactly what they did, and we did it different ways. But they understood what the game was giving them, and they went to it and took advantage of it, and we came away with the victory. So really, really proud of the way that they played.
Troy said that the two of you talked about how he needed to have more of an attacking mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how that?
Among a few other things we visited about, but I love Troy, and Troy is got unique talents, and sometimes he's his own worst enemy, with the things that he tries to do. But what he did in the second half was what we were trying to get him to do in the first half, and he had a couple footwork errors, and that's the way Troy needs to play. Troy needs to be in an aggressive, attacking, but reading the situation, and that's obviously what we want to try to get him to have. But he was really locked in. He's been very hungry and humble in his improvement, and we don't deal in the whole slump business. We don't get caught up in that. I mean, we've got some three-point numbers earlier in the season that if we were playing it on the percentage, we might not have them take threes, but they're a couple of the leading three-point shooters on our team. So what it is if you're working hard and you're preparing hard and doing the extra, you have to do the extra. You can't work on the game in the game. I mean, you got to work on the game long before you get there. But when he's in that attack mindset and when he's really focused and letting the game come to him in some degrees, but also being on the attack in the other degree, then he's pretty good.
Zach.
Go ahead, Zach.
I guess just, how far has he come? How far does he still need to go with knowing how to, you've talked about this before, forgive me, but knowing how to be aggressive, but at the same time always kind of be reading the game, always be.
That's the thing he has to do. It's one game, right? I mean, and it's a long season. It's one game, and he did a really nice job. But we never. I try to never coach. I'll address things, obviously, but I'm trying to never coach through the negative of what they're not doing. It's more importantly what they have to do, what they can do, what they need to do, and then every once in a while what they need to do less of. But the bottom line is when you work at it and study the film, and that's the thing that Troy needs to be completely locked into, is the mental part of it with the video and the physical part of it with locking into practice the way that he does, doing a few things extra that build that confidence. And then he's good. So to me, that's the most important thing. And it's really, say the same about everybody else.
Coach, talk about Juwan's big game and the influence that he and OG bring to your defense.
Well, where Yogi can, from when he came in, Yogi could really guard anybody. There were times he would guard the 5-man in a front situation, right, an emergency switch, and because he would fight, right? He was athletic, he was quick, he was tough, but he would fight. You know, those two have that. They're quick, they're athletic, they're long. Okay, so where Yogi at his size, and Rob's getting there, but where Yogi at his size can guard, you know, you don't want him 1 through 5, but you don't really. We didn't mind tonight, right? And because that's what the game was giving us. But he can go 1 through 4. Those guys can do the same thing. That versatility that they have defensively is huge. And they're both basketball players. You know, they're both, you know, bigger young men, but they're not. I wouldn't characterize those guys with a certain position, right? And Juwan has shown that, you know, hitting the 3 and the way that he played, and OG has shown that this season. So eventually, if we can get a team that can really switch constantly like we did tonight, that makes us that much better. And because you have to win the game different ways. You know, every game is giving you something different. He answered the bell. He didn't have a great early stretch in the first half, but he really responded in the second half. And again, I give Tim and Rob credit there for recommending that we put him in at that point, and then Rob for the call of going 55. I mean, it's a team effort. Those guys ran the halftime, our players. I mean, they were so good in the huddles, and the talk at halftime was tremendous. There were, you know, it was a dramatic shot. Yogi hit it, didn't count, couldn't even tell. You know, didn't take the air out of anybody's sails, and they did a fantastic job.
We talked yesterday about Colin and maybe being a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, what did he get?
More free. Did you see any of that manifest itself?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, he's got to quit starting the game off with the whirling dervish one-hand passes a little bit. He and Troy are like, you know, carbon copies of each other a couple times when we're starting the game. But just letting the game come, being ready to shoot the ball. He can facilitate so many things, you know, for us. And I think at some point in time tonight, we felt like we'd go back to the old lineup that we had in the past if they were hurting us with the spread game, with Colin potentially playing the 5. But it was ended up being Juwan in that position. But Colin needs to be he needs to feel green light, right, and just make simple passes, keep moving without the ball, find people, but when that ball comes to him, you know, be ready to knock it down. So we need that aggressiveness.
Around the 6-minute mark of the second half, I noticed you got pretty animated and tried to get the crowd into it. What was the reason for that, and do you think it worked, I guess?
Well, I thought the crowd was pretty good, but I thought that was a heck of a scrum for a loose ball. You know what I mean? And that's what it's supposed to look like. And I just wanted a little help in reminding those guys that's what Indiana basketball looks like, to be honest with you. And I thought the crowd really responded to that. So I thought we played extremely hard all night, but that was just one of those moments that let's thank them for what they're doing, because these guys, they go at it every day. I mean, they really do. I mean, I don't think there's any way you can have the season we're having without them putting what they put into each day into each game. And there's never a look ahead. There's no hangover effect, you know, and when you lose coming into the next one, there's none of that. You know, we respond. And that's all that it was. Our crowd was great. It was fantastic.
Coach, you talked about getting back on Sunday evening, 27th game now. 9 guys played 11 or more minutes, so know that very pleased with that and wanted to go deep into your bench.
Well, we want to go deep into the bench. I didn't put a lot of thought into that tonight, but it's really more how you get ready for the game. And we do a lot of different things. Some days we don't walk through very long on the day of the game. You know, we in the film room a lot, or you know, we might practice. We just mix it up. I think it's all about reading the pulse, or having the pulse of your team, reading them, and then knowing that when it's game time, they've got to be at their best. So our guys worked very hard, and they were rewarded with it, and they did a great job. But we got to get better. All right, thank you.
Mayor, you got the first question.
Troy, after what happens, tell us what the process was for you last couple of days and how it felt tonight.
Just having more of an attacking mindset. After Michigan State, I mean, I didn't come out aggressive, and we watched it, and we just, me and Coach Crean had talked, and we just decided that it's time to be back on that aggressive and attacking mindset. I mean, and then playing like that, I see the results it gets me.
Alex?
What was improved for you guys tonight defensively, for any of you, after kind of what happened at Michigan State and how easily they scored and running up 88 points tonight? You guys seemed a little bit more locked in. What was different?
I think we did a better job of making in-game adjustments. And like Troy said, collectively, we had a better mindset coming out this game. And, you know, when they made a little run, you know, we came together and, you know, made sure that we got to stop right there and didn't let that small run turn into a big run. And I think, you know, that's one of the keys.
Jeff?
Robert, what does it do for you guys when Troy is in that just attacking mindset like that?
Oh, I mean, it just really opens everything up because, you know, when he's flying down the court like that, it's really hard to guard, especially when, you know, you have so many shooters like we do. If they come off of us, then he kicks it, and if they don't, then he gets to the rim. So it really opens up things for us.
Zach?
Troy, you talked about the last couple of days. I guess when you have a performance like that, do you want to block out outside noise? Do you want to hear criticism and use it to motivate you, or do you just kind of, does it not matter to you, I guess?
Criticism doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't motivate me. My teammates, my coaches, my family, and all motivate me.
Can we get a word from the freshman? Career high for you tonight, more points and minutes played. Talk about your performance.
It was just my teammates setting me up and putting me in the position to get easy baskets. I remember the most recent one, Troy drove to the lane hard, like we said, with that attacking mindset. And all I did was move out the way, and he found me. And just them making plays like that just opened up everything for me. And I just can't thank him enough for that.
Right. Javon, you talked about your teammates setting you up, but it seems like you're more comfortable finding those open spots and things now. Does it feel easier for you to kind of find those openings now?
Yeah, it does. Just like I said, when they're in that attacking mindset, everybody's focusing on them, and it's easy to just get behind somebody and then run to an open spot. Like, I think that's one of the best things I do, and I picked that up from Yogi and Rob, just watching film with them constantly. Even over the summer, just watching film with them last year and just seeing how they saw the floor. And I think when I saw the floor from their perspective, that it was easier to get around the big in my spot.
Mike? Troy, you were talking about criticism. Are you a guy that just turns off Twitter, turns off Instagram, just shuts yourself off from social media when things aren't going so well? Or I guess how do you block all that noise out?
I mean, I just don't pay attention to it. I mean, really, it's not like I go up there and search for it. I don't search for criticism. I don't search for positive quotes or anything like that from people. I mean, like I said before, it's just family, team, coaches. All I need to motivate me.
Go ahead.
Juwan, since you and OG have known each other for so long, just kind of what's it been like for you guys to go through the freshman year together, kind of develop, push each other, work together?
It's just been great, especially knowing each other so long and seeing each other develop since 7th grade. When OG's out there doing great, I'm cheering him on, just like the rest of the team. And when I'm out there doing the things I have to do, I know he's cheering for me, and just like the rest of the team. And it's just great because that's one of my best friends, and so it's just one of those feelings you get that when you're both developing together, it's just something that can't be stopped.
Go ahead.
Troy, you said you're being more aggressive tonight, but you also only missed one shot. Were you maybe picking and shooting your shots a little more, too?
I didn't even know I missed one shot. I mean, just not settling as much and attacking the rim more. I mean, I have a quick first step and I need to use it better or use it more. So, I mean, I found that out tonight. And doing that, I found other people. I found Juwan on the baseline. I got open layups and more.
The Colin Hartman dunk at the baseline. I know, Juwan, you were right there. What was that like? Have you ever seen Colin do anything like that?
In practice, I have seen him do a lot of dunks like that, and just when he rose up, I'm thinking a finger roll was coming. But then when he pulled on the rim, I was just like, did that just happen? And then I just ran back down the court. I told him good dunk, and then we got back on defense.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Hey, Rob, Jawan was talking about kind of how he's seen the game and how you guys attacking makes it easier for him. How have you kind of seen him develop and sort of make himself more a part of the game?
Yeah. Well, like you said, he's taking an active part in, his improvement. Like you said, he's followed in the footsteps. I followed him from Yogi, as far as watching film and getting better mentally. So when you do that, things on the court start to slow down a little bit for you, and, you start to see where plays can develop and you can make plays.
Yeah, Robert, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, Iowa lost tonight. You guys are now tied for first again with 4 games left. Just thoughts on that?
Well, that's a good thing. Well, we just gonna try to take it one game at a time, and try to take it one game at a time, one play at a time, and let the results come as they may.
Anything else for these guys? All right, thanks.